My film is called Hiedra, that means ivy in English, and it's about these two characters that are kind of wounded because something that happened in their childhood, and they choose each other. In a way, they choose to be family and they choose each other. Differently from my previous films, Alba and La Piel Pulpo, this film came from a less controlled space. Like, I wrote it in a more unconscious form. I was interested about how the things that happen to us in our childhood and adolescence like affect our adulthood, let's say, and about this post-traumatic state after abuse or abandonment. And I started also investigating a lot about the teenagers that have to leave the orphanage in Ecuador, and they are 17, 18 years old, and they don't have anything outside there, but they have to give this step of going out. We improvise a lot. I really like to direct actors. It's the thing that I like the most when I am doing films. For Julio, we did a lot of castings. He's a non-professional actor, a natural actor, and also the other teenagers. And we rehearsed a lot, and we became like really close. And it was a whole process of teaching him what it means to act. I also work with a team in Ecuador that is very close to me, that helps me like teaching acting to the actors. And in the case of Simone, I watched her film La Región Salvaje de Amat Escalante, and I was really intrigued by her. She's very mysterious, and at the same time she has something fragile that I really like, and it was very easy to work with her because she's really disciplined and she takes it very seriously. So we rehearsed a lot. She said that is the film she has rehearsed the most. She came to Ecuador and we really worked really close together, preparing the character. I think it's a universal theme, but I am also putting over the table some things that happen in Ecuador, as being a mother at a very young age, being a child, and how this is very common in my country. And also I was inspired in Quito about these abandoned places and about these characters that do not fit in the idea of normality or success, but that are kind of marginalized because of different reasons. And in this case also I wanted to talk about what I said about the teenagers that are leaving the orphanage. We don't see Quito like a character. That was one of my ideas in the script, that at the end is more about them. Their faces are like the landscapes. But at the end we see the nature as a space where they are like kind of more animal, more free, like less oppressed by the city. And this is a very important part of my country, like the landscape and the strength of the páramos. And yes, I haven't premiered the film yet in Ecuador, but I'm sure when I do it, there will be a lot of conversations about the topics, because I know that there are several things that will touch people being from Ecuador.
Eso, mis compañeros de armadura blanca, ¡ay, qué bueno son! ¡Pero más sabor! ¡Ay, ve!
As Ecuador cinema is not, it doesn't have a history so strong like Colombia or like Mexico or Brazil, other countries in Latin America. It's more an emergent cinematography. Obviously we have a reference that began a long time ago making films. We have a law of film that started like 15 years ago supporting films. but the budget is very small, so we have to do a lot of co-productions with other countries in order to make our films. And now directors are making their second or third film, like we are like building, you know, the history of film in Ecuador. And there is a very strong documentary films. They are very strong. Mainly documentary films have represented Ecuador in several festivals, and fiction as well, but more documentary. And there are a lot of also female directors in Ecuador that are starting making films.